Hi, I'm Koen, and the grand final of Eurovision 2023 is about to take place. I'm very excited, I hope you are as well. I'll get right into my thoughts before the grand final, but first let's wind back and talk about the first two semifinals. The first semifinal took place yesterday, and I gotta say, I am not disappointed by the first Eurovision live show of this year. I was dressed for the occasion, of course, in my crazy Eurovision fan shirt again that I got from my roommates for my birthday, but I was like, I can't wear it for the video again because it'll seem like it'll be the only piece of clothing I own now. Anyway, amazing production quality, not one bad camera shot, great interval acts, great hosts. I loved everything about the show. I am so happy with the first show of this year. Results wise, first of all, of course, I'm a bit disappointed that my country, the Netherlands, didn't qualify for the first time since 2015, but I gotta say, Mia and Dion can definitely be proud of themselves because they have proven that they can beautifully perform Burning Daylight, which is kind of an in-your-face for all the media that talked crap about them after their first two performances and started this kind of smear campaign in the Netherlands, which I think they definitely did not deserve, and I'm very happy that the Eurovision performance sounded that great. I'm really happy for them. Even though they didn't qualify, I think they can still be very proud of themselves. About the rest of the qualifiers, I'm pretty content. I got 9 out of the 10 qualifiers right that I predicted. I gotta say, I was already a bit doubting between Malta and Switzerland when I was editing my thoughts before the first semi-final video, but I'm still happy with my score, I guess. Also, I get why Switzerland did qualify, because Remo was definitely one of the most consistent live vocalists of the first semi-final. So I now do get how Switzerland did qualify without the juries in the first semi-final. And I'm happy for Remo, of course. I love how every single country that sent an entry with their native language qualified. Well, almost every country, only Latvia did not qualify, and they also had a part in Latvian in the song, of course, which I think is a shame, since the last time Latvia qualified was in 2016, and they have been sending qualifier-worthy songs to Eurovision since then, so I think it's a shame they haven't been in the final since 2016. In Latvia's case, juries in the semi-final definitely would have still helped, I think. Also, I dislike the fact that the front singer of Wild Youth, Connor, posted this to his Instagram saying that they never give Ireland a chance. The song already was kind of a clear qualifier from the beginning, I think. Though I gotta say, there were people in the room with me when I was watching Eurovision that did really like Ireland, but there were also the biggest Eurovision haters, well, the biggest Eurovision dislikers yesterday, so I don't know what that says about that. They were also constantly talking through the live performances, which was pretty annoying. Anyway, overall I'm happy with the results. Also, I don't really get why Norway was the last country to be announced to qualify, since I think Norway was a pretty obvious qualifier, so I don't really get why they didn't keep the suspense and, I don't know, announce Serbia as the last country to qualify instead of Norway, instead of announcing Serbia as second to last qualifying, you know? But oh well. I'm also very happy with the performance of Czechia. I had my worries about it, but they did very well, and I'm also very happy with Portugal qualifying. I'm not sure who won this semi-final. I think it could be either Finland or Sweden. I think Czechia kind of ended up very high, same for Israel and same for Switzerland even. Also, I think Croatia could have done pretty well in the semi-final too. And I think that's about it for now. Those were my first thoughts after the first live show of this year. I'm right now just very excited for the second semi-final, so I guess I'll see you after that. Okay, the second semi-final just took place, and I of course enjoyed it again. I mean, it's Eurovision, and it's a very well produced Eurovision in my opinion. I'm happy with how the show turned out. I think this semi-final was obviously a bit weaker, but I still enjoyed it. I mean, how couldn't I? I got 9 out of the 10 qualifiers right again. I predicted Georgia to qualify instead of Cyprus. I get why Cyprus still qualified, because Andrew sang really well live, hitting all of the high notes perfectly again. I just didn't really feel like the performance was that outstanding personally, but I'm happy for Cyprus, of course. I do feel bad for Iru from Georgia, since this was such a big dream for her to qualify. Though I get why Georgia did not qualify, because the performance was maybe a bit too on the monotone side, if you know what I mean. I still would have liked for Georgia to qualify though. Also, Poland qualified, and I get why. I just totally did not expect them to before the rehearsals took place. But here we are. Lithuania also positively surprised me. I loved the performance. It's such a good upgraded performance compared to the national final performance, which also already was good. I loved Monica's vocals, the overall vibe with the backing vocals. I think it's very well done. Also, can we talk about the random dance break in Armenia staging? Like, I liked it, but it wasn't necessary in my opinion. opinion, though it was still a good performance, and I'm happy they qualified. Now I just hope that Brunette will also release the version with the dance break onto Spotify so I can listen to it. Also, the completely revamped song of Romania is also kind of random. I get why they did not qualify. Also, can I just say that I'm happy that they didn't go through with that idea of the X Factor style of qualifier announcement. That would have been devastating for some of the artists without their delegation around them to support them when they would not qualify. I seriously thought it was a joke at first, but then I saw the leaked photos and the leaked videos, and I'm happy they just scrapped the whole idea, because I think we could have seen some really bad and devastating reactions to a non-qualification on stage, and I'm glad that's all avoided. Now let's talk about the grand final that's about to take place, but first let's talk about the performances of the Big Five and Ukraine that are uploaded to the official Eurovision Song Contest YouTube channel. France. I love the staging. They literally made a human Eiffel Tower out of Lazara. It's iconic, and the reveal of the disco ball on the pedestal, I love it. I think she was holding back a bit for this particular performance since there weren't really any high stakes yet, but I'm very excited to see the performance on Saturday. Germany. Basically the same staging concept as the national final performance, which is fine, I think. I seriously think Germany has a chance of not ending up as low as they have in these recent years. Italy. It's an okay performance, I think. A kind of staging we're used to from Italy, I think. Those two dancers on the stairs in the background do add some extra touch to the performance, which I like, but I'm not sure if Italy will end up that high this year. Though top 10 is possible, I think. United Kingdom. I really like the UK staging concept this year. I like the fact that the performance has May, the artist, in the background LEDs, but it's not just the artist randomly in the background. It actually has a purpose. It actually tells a story. It's kind of interactive with May, who performs on stage. I think this is a case of the artist being in the background LEDs with actually being a clever way of doing it, because we've seen artists have themselves in the background LEDs before, but usually it doesn't really add that much. It's just the artists on a big screen, and in this case it's actually part of the choreography, you know? I really like it. I just think it's a shame that May had to go on vocal rest. You can also hear that she doesn't sound the best either yet, which I think is very unfortunate. I really hope a miracle will happen and she'll sound better and feel good during the actual grand final performance. Let's just hope so. I also personally think I would have added backing vocals to this performance, but if I'm correct, there were some issues with that, which is why the clip of the second rehearsal was not uploaded, if I'm correct. But I guess we'll see how it'll turn out on Saturday. Spain, an upgraded version of the national final performance. I love it. I think this will be very impactful on the Eurovision stage and has top 5, maybe even top 3 potential, I think. Ukraine, also an upgraded staging concept compared to the national final performance. I like it, it's well done, and I also think Jeffrey's vocals have improved, so that's nice, and I think a top 10 is possible for Ukraine this year. Now let's talk about the countries that have the biggest chances to go home with the victory, in my opinion. First, Sweden. Let's be real, Sweden has been a frontrunner this whole time already, and I think Sweden is very likely to get their 7th victory this year, but I do think there are some countries that could beat Sweden this year. For example, Finland. Finland has the biggest chance of being the televote winner this year, I think. At first I thought Austria could also be a possible televote winner, but after seeing that they'll open the grand final, I think that is less likely. And Finland is just such a televote friendly song. It just screams televote winner, I think. So I think we can all expect Finland to get the highest televote score this year. I also wouldn't mind seeing Finland actually win either, if I'm honest. Spain. I feel like Spain can also score really well again this year. Their performance is different, original, contemporary, and as well jury vote as televote friendly, I think. I feel like Spain could be the jury vote winner this year, though I think Sweden and also Lithuania have a chance of being that, but for now I'm saying Spain is most likely to. France. France's entry is so catchy and the staging concept is so outstanding, and Lazara just performs so elegantly. I think France could end up in the top 5 this year if Lazara performs really well vocally as well. Israel. Israel could also score top 5 this year, I think. I'm not sure if they're one of the countries to actually potentially beat Sweden or actually end up on the first place, but top 5 is very likely for Israel, I think, especially since they're performing near the end of the grand final and and Sweden, Finland, Spain and France all perform in the first half of the grand final. So that's a bit risky, but we have seen countries perform in the first half win before. So, and to add to that, I think Lithuania, Czechia and maybe also Austria and Norway could be in the running of ending up in the top 5. Though Austria is maybe less likely because they're opening the grand final, and I'm scared that'll be a bit of a disadvantage for them. The jury vote winner could be Lithuania, I think, because I think after seeing the whole performance, it's a really jury vote friendly performance. Also, the fact that Lithuania is performing near the end of the grand final is also an advantage for them. Sweden could also potentially be the jury vote winner, I think, but for now I'm going to say Spain will be the jury vote winner this year. And the televote winner could also be Sweden, but I think it's more likely that Finland will be the televote winner. Though I am now going to make my prediction for the overall winner of the Eurovision Song Contest this year, and I'm just going to keep it basic and predictable and stay with Sweden. Though I do think it would be funny and cool to see another country go home with a victory, just because that would feel like a bit of a plot twist. But honestly, I feel like Loreen deserves that second Eurovision victory. And if winning Eurovision this year is what makes Loreen break through internationally, I wouldn't mind to see that happen at all, because I think she deserves that. And that's basically all for now. Also, you know what's really funny? I just happened to have made this Sweden Eurovision heart for my Halloween costumes video. So this will be hanging in the room during the grand final. And of course, I will be wearing my crazy Eurovision fan shirt that I got from my roommate's for my birthday, because I kind of have to. It's kind of my tradition now, my new tradition of wearing this during every Eurovision live show. Anyway, that's about all for now. I'm very excited for the grand final. I hope you are as well. Who do you think will win? Who do you want to see win? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you'll enjoy the grand final, and hopefully until next time. Bye.